Should I reach out to a coworker's wife because I suspect she's the victim of abuse? Here it goes. I F30 started a new job at a office building where I befriended a male coworker, David M39. The relationship was flirty at first. He was giving me gifts and singing my praises from the rooftops. Now what I understand is love bombing. Suddenly it was like a switch flipped and it went toxic, where he got extremely controlling and possessive. He said to me, "You're gonna want a relationship with me." I scoffed and was like, "Nah, I'm pretty sure I don't want to date right now." And he grabbed my arm and says in a stern voice, "You're gonna want a relationship with me." He would freak out if I talked to male coworkers and go up to them after I walked off and they'd both look at me, so I know he was talking about me. He would cock-block my friendships at work by saying to, mainly, male coworkers that I was his girlfriend and I was so in love with him. He would lie to my face about things he literally just said. Example, he told me he was in love with me. Not 5 minutes later when I questioned him about it, he goes, "No, you told me you loved me." I ended up transferring to the company's other location for a 2-month secondment. I blocked him on Facebook and not an hour later I got a DM from another male coworker, David's friend, and it contained a selfie of David. Batshit crazy. I've heard from other coworkers that David became obsessed and kept talking about me despite me being no contact for 2 months. Now I'm back working with David. I ended up complaining to HR about David and the general manager said to me, "But I see from your messages that you wanted this attention." Yeah, and this is a personal matter, not a work matter, despite me only seeing David at work. The tone of the meeting was, "Well, you shouldn't have flirted with him." Really disappointing, as this is an Australian government department that was in the news several years ago for multiple sexual harassment claims. The result of the complaint was that he got a warning and cannot go near me. He's still obsessed and hangs back 10 minutes to leave at the same time I leave. He's also parking his car next to mine. I'm just ignoring him. He is quiet, tall and intimidating and has just stood staring at me a few times, so it's not pleasant, but I'm in a good headspace and just brush it off. He's obviously got some sort of narcissistic personality disorder. Problem is, I found out he has a wife and kids. Another coworker said that his wife suffers from depression and anxiety and that David complains that she has no friends. I strongly suspect that he is doing the same things to her. I strongly suspect that he is abusing her. I don't want to do anything that may put her in danger. Should I reach out to her? What do I do? Edit to add, he portrayed himself as single. It was only after a few months that I found out from another coworker that he was married with children, which, looking back, was the time the switch flipped and he became abusive. It's very sweet and kind of you to think of his wife, but right now you need to focus on your own safety. Your coworker is stalking you, physically intimidates you, and has laid hands on you. I know your employer has basically brushed it off, but I think you need to take it very seriously. You know this man is dangerous, because you're worried about putting his wife in danger. Given his existing behavior, I think the risk of violence from him against you is very real. I'm not sure what the best course of action is. Probably going to your employer again, since he was told to stay away from you and he is clearly not doing that. Maybe talking to an employment lawyer, or is there somebody that deals with employers not upholding the rights of their employees? You might even reach out to a domestic violence hotline or shelter to get some advice, since even though this is happening at work, this man clearly sees you as some sort of romantic conquest. Please take his behavior towards you very seriously. Keep going to HR for the harassment. That he is ignoring instructions and doesn't keep distance. Get an external government agency involved if they are not listening. In truth, get another job. BC, you never know what guys like these do. Don't meddle in this guy's private life. Don't contact her, it will blow up in your face, and his wife is not going to leave him anyway. If you go to the police, she will say he's the most wonderful man alive and they will both sue you for libel. This guy is dangerous. Honestly, I would not do anything that could anger him. Keep doing what you are doing and just stay away from him. Try to have a coworker walk with you to your car after work if that is possible. I don't see this guy giving up anytime soon, cause he seems fucking crazy. Please stay safe. I know you probably feel bad for his wife and kids, but I don't think there is anything you could do without putting yourself in danger also. No, don't reach out to her. If you need to talk to the police, do. If you need to go back to HR and tell them about the new developments, do. They say that BS about, you wanted the attention at first. Ask them, why does that matter if you have spent months making it crystal clear that you don't want his attention now? If HR has asked him to stop, and he won't, they need to know about his pattern of behavior to make it stop. My girlfriend's pussy stinks. It's as simple as that. It doesn't drive me out of the room or anything, but it's gotten to the point where I try my best to fall asleep if she wants me to go down on her first. It's not that she doesn't shower or anything, I know she does, but it seems like if she isn't fresh out of the shower, even then it doesn't always do much. Then it's bad enough it takes me 30 minutes to talk myself into doing it. Like I said, it isn't a rotten smell, just not a pleasant one. And sometimes if we have sex more than once in a night, which I keep to a minimum, then I can smell it through her shorts if she walks by me sometimes. I'd what to do, it's long since started to kill my sex drive, and when we have sex I'm just ready for it to be over with. We have a pretty good relationship, but at this point I'm nowhere near sexually satisfied. Edit, I have spoken to her. She hasn't asked her doctor a bit directly, but due to several appointments with her obgyn we know it's not any kind of infection. I even had a serious talk with her and asked her to get some hygiene products specifically for that, and I gave notice no difference. However, I will definitely talk to her about asking her obgyn about the smell directly. Sounds like she could have BV, especially if coming inside her makes it worse. Semen is alkalinizing and can throw off our vaginal pH, which likes to be acidic. BV can smell fishy, and it has nothing to do with hygiene or being unclean. It's just that because the pH isn't ideal in the vagina, then you get an overgrowth of bacteria that aren't normally in that quantity naturally. There's an ideal ratio of bacteria/yeast etc., and when it gets thrown off, then that happens. We don't test for BV routinely during your annual visit, so she'd need to mention to her doctor so they can test for it. You can also buy/order test strips to do at home for that as well. Boric acid suppositories are great, especially for prevention after having sex/semen inside. If you're not wearing a condom, it's probably from your dick. Serious. If you finish inside her, her body chemistry might hate your semen and it might be fucking up her pH. If your dick isn't clean, you're introducing foreign bacteria which is also fucking up her pH. Also your fingers. Even your mouth if you don't brush your teeth regularly. I don't know if anyone brought this up, but I would look into your hygiene as well. Vaginas are sensitive. Bacteria from your mouth or penis can also disrupt her pH balance and cause an odor. If she's been to obgyn, then I would look into things like wearing looser pants, cranberry supplements, 100% cotton underwear, non-internal period products, maybe even birth control. Hygiene products like summer eaves and douches are kinda BS and can sometimes make your pH balance worse, which can exacerbate the problem. Edit, this is really far-fetched, but maybe it's something with her uterus because normal gyno appointments only look at cervix and vagina. Do you come in her often? So, it could be bacterial vaginosis. It happens BC the vagina is very acidic and sperm is very basic. It will throw off her pH and makes it smell. If you love her, tell her lamau. If you can smell it, someone else probably could too, and she'd probably wanna know so she can feel more comfortable with asking you to eat her out. Definitely tell her. People can smell it. They will talk about it. It's such a distinct smell, people know too. Poor thing. Long distance girlfriend came back home and told me to put on a condom before sex because she doesn't trust me. My girlfriend, 20F, and I, 22M, have been together for 5 years. We live together, but in the past year, our relationship has become more long distance because she travels a lot for her work. Recently she was away for a 4-month period, but we talked every day through messages and FaceTime. I also work full time and I look forward to the times when I'm able to talk to her. She really does mean everything to me. She came home about a few days ago. Yesterday, we were making out in bed and things were escalating. Suddenly, She stops and says, "Can you put on a condom?" I'm a bit confused by this, because she has a birth control implant and we have never used condoms since we began dating 5 years ago. We are completely monogamous. She saw I was confused and said, "It's just that I've been away for so long and I don't know if maybe you had a random hookup or a one-night stand. It would just make me feel more at ease if you wore a condom." I was really offended and told her so. To begin, I didn't even have any condoms with me because I haven't used one in more than 5 years. And I told her that she's basically saying she doesn't trust me. She said she trusts me but she's also paranoid and that she doesn't know whether I may have had a moment of weakness and slept with another woman, thus she'd just be more comfortable if I wore a condom. That was a mood killer, to be honest. This morning she told me to buy some condoms at the store. I haven't yet. It just makes me feel weird. Where does our relationship even go from here? My girlfriend doesn't even trust me. Too long didn't read. Girlfriend came home after 4 months abroad and doesn't feel comfortable having sex without protection because she thinks I cheated. Sounds like she cheated on you and is projecting. The fair thing to do is to propose that if she doesn't trust you, then it's fair that you shouldn't trust her, so propose that you both get STD tests done before being intimate again. Her reaction will be quite telling. 1. She may understand that it is a reasonable request and that relationships should be equal. 1. She may get offended that you don't trust her. 1. She may brush it off and say forget it. Only with option 1 should you feel comfortable that she mature enough to be in a relationship. Good luck. She's been banging other dudes and she's trying to protect you from possibly getting an STD. To be honest, it kind of sounds like she's projecting onto you. Talk to her about it and reassure her that you've given her no reason not to trust you and this is coming out of left field. I agree with others, she might have slept with someone else. Talk to her about it if you want to continue the relationship. Yeah, sounds like she had a moment of weakness.